Far below the surface of the sea, where the sunlight barely reached and the world shimmered in endless shades of blue, there lived a young mermaid named Nerina. Her long, silvery hair flowed behind her like a ribbon in the current, and her emerald green tail glistened with scales finer than the most precious gems. She was the youngest daughter of King Thaler, the mighty ruler of the Ocean Kingdom. The underwater palace, carved from coral and pearl, stood proudly among seaweed forests and glowing gardens of anemones. Crystal lanterns illuminated the grand halls, and fish of all colors danced through the open windows like birds through trees. Nerina's 5 older sisters were all elegant and graceful, known for their beauty and enchanting voices, which could calm storms and soothe angry sea creatures. But Nerina, though just as lovely, was different. She had a heart full of wonder and a mind full of questions. While her sisters loved singing and decorating their chambers with coral jewelry, Nerina spent her days swimming to the edge of the kingdom, near the forbidden surface. From a young age, she had been fascinated by stories of the human world, tales passed down from old sailors or discovered in sunken books. Her chamber was filled with objects she'd collected from shipwrecks and ocean currents. Rusted spoons, chipped porcelain dolls, glass bottles, and once, even a music box that still played a haunting tune when opened. "Why are you always chasing shadows, little one?" her eldest sister Lyra asked one morning, watching Nerina polish a broken compass. Nerina shrugged. "I want to understand them. The humans. What's it like to walk? To breathe air? To dance with feet instead of fins?" Lyra laughed softly, brushing her auburn hair. "You romanticize them too much. Humans are not like us. They destroy more than they create. Remember what Father always says, our world is safer when left untouched by theirs." But Nerina's curiosity was not easily silenced. At night, while the palace slept, she would sneak away to her favorite spot, an outcropping of smooth black rock that jutted near the surface. There, hidden behind a wall of kelp, she would watch the moon shimmer on the waves and dream of the world above. One day, the king summoned all his daughters to the great coral hall. The royal trumpets, made from curled conch shells, echoed through the palace. "My daughters," King Thaler announced, his deep voice commanding yet warm, "the time has come. As tradition holds, each of you shall be allowed to swim to the surface on your 15th birthday. You may watch the world above, but only once. That is our law, for the surface holds dangers we cannot control." Nerina's heart leapt. She was the youngest, so she would have to wait 5 more years. Still, the thought thrilled her. Her sisters, especially Lyra and the 3rd sister Marella, returned from their surface visits with strange stories. Ships that floated like castles, stars that flickered without water, and humans who danced in swirling clothes with fire in their eyes. "Was it beautiful?" Nerina would ask, eyes wide. "Yes," Marella once admitted, "but also strange. They live so fast. Everything is loud, and bright, and fleeting." Nerina thought about that often. She imagined herself walking on sandy shores, her tail transformed into legs, her hair blowing in a warm breeze. She longed to see the sun, not just the pale shadows of it that filtered through the sea, but the real blazing sun that painted the clouds gold. One day, as Nerina explored a sunken galleon deep in the coral graveyard, she found a book sealed in a waterproof case. The leather cover was cracked, and the pages were fragile, But inside were drawings, humans with kind faces, children running across grass, and strange creatures called birds flying above mountains. She hid the book in her treasure cove and pored over it daily, trying to memorize every image, every scribbled note. She even began collecting more human artifacts. A cracked mirror that still caught her reflection. A silver locket that opened to reveal a painted portrait of a smiling couple. A candle holder, its wax long melted, but beautiful in its shape. Her obsession grew, and so did her dreams. But not everyone was pleased. King Thaler began to notice her absences. "Nerina, you are not like your sisters. I see your heart is caught in two worlds," he said one evening, his crown casting shadows in the dim glow of a jellyfish chandelier. "Do not lose yourself chasing what was never meant for us." "I just want to see for myself," she whispered. He sighed. Curiosity is the beginning of wisdom, and also of sorrow. Still, Nerina could not stop. She continued her nightly visits to the surface's edge, though never fully crossing the invisible barrier of water and sky. She watched seagulls dive and rise, listened to the faint echoes of distant music, and imagined what it must be like to dance under the stars. Her 15th birthday was still 2 years away. But fate, as it often does not always wait for birthdays or royal permission. One night, during a powerful storm, Nerina saw lights flaring above the waves, red and yellow bursts of color. A ship was caught in the storm. From her hidden perch, she watched in horror as it tilted, cracked, and sank. Shadows of humans splashed in the water, calling for help. Among them, one figure caught her eye, a young man with dark hair, clinging to a piece of wreckage. Without thinking, Nerina dove upward, breaking the surface for the first time. And in that single breath of cold air, her life began to change forever.